And coming up, we'll go downtown and we'll talk to former Wayne State University President Dr. Irvin Reed about what he's doing to bring the former president of Mexico to Detroit. We'll be right back. Stay with us. And welcome back to Spotlight. We've changed locations here. We're now down at the Cube, our downtown home. And joining me is Dr. Irvin Reed. He is President Emeritus of Wayne State University. You've seen him many times before. He is also the Eugene Applebaum Chair over at the university. And welcome to Spotlight.
Well,
We've interviewed you many times before. I think this is the first time I've interviewed you down here at the Cube.
Yes,
so
we did it
a little shorter walk from Wayne State.
It's great being back with you, Chuck.
It's great having you. You have been involved for the past 10 years since you left the big chair of running the university as the Applebaum Chair. One of the things is being over this Forum for Contemporary Issues. 10 years ago, you had the president of Mexico come in and give a talk. 10 years later, he's no longer president of Mexico, but he's coming back. Yes. Tell us about that and why that's important.
Well, first of all, we're doing the 10th anniversary of the Forum on Contemporary Issues in Society,
right.
Excuse me, Focis, and of the Applebaum Chair. And at that time, Vicente Fox was a part of the kickoff. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to do kind of a retrospective of what we've been doing for the last 10 years and wanted to do immigration again. And there's no one better to come and address us on this issue than Vicente Fox. So we called him up and asked him would he come back, and he willingly agreed.
And the issues right now are so important, with DACA just coming down this past week, talking about building a wall in Mexico, which has been an issue from the campaign into the presidency of President Trump. You are not lacking for issues for him to talk about here.
Well, you must admit we have a great sense of timing, don't we? We didn't know this when we booked him last summer, but
sure.
But these are issues. And if you think back about 10 years ago, the issue was Mexico taking jobs from American workers? Mm-hmm. The issue may still be there as to whether Mexico is taking jobs, but the issue now is broadly, what do you do with these young people who grew up here? They came to this country with their parents, innocent. They went to school. They don't know anything about any other country than America. And that's why we have this issue of DACA. Now what happens to them after this? And so that's one of the issues that President Fox would give us some perspective on from the other side. And then, of course, the issue of the wall, which is very controversial. And he has not been silent, as you know, in some of his own quotes about it, about the wall. So here's an opportunity for an audience. And this is what Mr. Applebaum really wanted. He wanted a dialogue with the people of the world, with people here in Detroit at Wayne State University, but also in the city of Detroit. He wanted to bring these people who had ideas that were different from what citizens would hear every day. And that's what the Focus lecture series is all about.
And this particular speech will be open to the public. It will be September 18th, which I believe is a Thursday.
It's in the evening.
I'm sorry,
it's
a Monday.
Yes.
It's in the evening. It's open to the public.
Absolutely, and that's the other thing that Mr. Applebaum wanted. He did not want there to be any obstacle to people from the community coming to the campus and enjoying these lectures. There's no charge. We do ask people to go online and register, or to call us and register, and we have information will be given to them on how they could go about registering, so we can get a sense of the count. But there is no charge to attend the lectures, this one or any of the other Focus lectures.
I noticed in some of the literature that the sort of umbrella title for the speech is what in the world is going on?
Yes.
And I think that's probably very apropos given all that's happening, not just in America, but throughout the world right now. I can't tell you the number of times I hear people just say, what in the world is going on?
And that's exactly what we try to capture with this title, is that what in the world is going on? Whether it's about immigration, whether it's about the institutions of the press and the presidency, whether it's about race, whatever. We wanted to say to people, what in the world is going on? At least come and spend a couple of hours with us one evening or one day and explore and hear what our speakers are saying about what in the world is going on.
We're going to take a little break. When we come back, I want to talk about some of the other people that will be coming over to the campus, giving their insights, their thoughts about what's going on. And then I want to kind of take a little retrospective and look back at these past 10 years and what you feel you've accomplished.
Great.
We'll be right back with Dr. Irvin Reed. Stay with us. Vicente Fox is kicking this off, former President Vicente Fox, but you've got some other big heavyweights coming in as well.
Yes. Again, we try to capture a little bit of what we did at the very beginning 10 years ago. And one of the discussions we had then was on the press and the presidency. Bob Woodward from Watergate fame was our speaker. This year, in October 24th, we're going to have the press and the presidency again, and we're giving a kind of a wide spectrum politically. We have Steve Cortez of Fox News, who used to be, is a conservative representative. Then we have Joy Reid of MSNBC, the other end of the spectrum. And in the middle, we have Eugene Robinson, the Pulitzer Prize writer with the Washington Post. And that one is called The Press and the Presidency, and that's on October 24th.
Yeah.
Then,
that's a great spectrum, too, because everybody's not coming at it from the same political point of view.
Exactly.
They work for different publications, but all very respected media organizations.
Exactly. And that's what we are trying to give people, so those who are coming to a Focus event knows that it won't just be positions of one side or the other, but this one, there will be a broad spectrum.
Yeah, and the nice thing we should add for people that are coming from public is that Q&A is very much a part of this whole thing. Asking questions, getting those questions answered. So it's not just someone talking to you and you don't have a chance to be able to ask them a question or challenge them if you want.
Exactly, and we do that. And as a matter of fact, Vicente Fox was at his best during the Q&A some time ago. And so was David Suzuki talking about the environment, or Robert F. Kennedy Jr. It gives people a chance to interact with that speaker up there in a less formal way, but to get him maybe caught off guard a couple of times. So that one was very good. Then a month later, on November 16th, we have Michael Eric Dyson,
Detroiter,
a favorite son of Detroit, a great scholar at Georgetown University, a sociologist, writing about race, as you know, throughout his career. Well, he's going to do an evening on race. And we're doing a follow-up to that. Sheila Cockrell and I, as you know, have been doing a program here called Citizen Detroit. And in January 27th, 2018, we're going to do an all-day summit on race. It's a Saturday, and it's going to be a follow-on to this program that Michael Eric Dyson is doing on November 16th. And it's going to be important for the public to come and become engaged in that. As you know, Chuck, this past year we've been looking at the 50th anniversary of the uprising here in Detroit. And everybody's been looking back. It's all been looking back. This is an opportunity, both of these programs, to look forward. We've asked Michael to talk, Professor Dyson, to talk a little bit about what happens going forward with regard to race.
You are one of America's foremost intellectuals and scholars, and have a wonderful background in education and the process of education. As you look back on the 10 years that you've been associated with this forum, what do you hope people have gotten out of it? And as you look towards the future, where do you see this going?
Well, I hope that we have done a good job of broadening the perspective of people who have come to our programs. You know, Chuck, we have more people attending programs at Wayne State like this, out of Focus, than anything else other than football. We have the largest audiences in programs like this. So it has brought people from the campus. These programs have brought people from the campus, but they've also brought people in from the community. And so when a person could sit up there up close and listen to a person like David Suzuki is talking about the environment, what's going to happen if we continue on the path that we've been going. I hope people took something away from that and have changed their perspectives about how we should behave toward our environment going forward. So that's one thing. But we've also done things in education. For example, we had one program on the death of the American school system. What happens when we shifted our emphasis on public education toward charter schools or private education? I think that'll help us to understand what was going on here in Detroit at the time. Then we did one on the economy. Then we did one on Detroit's great financial crisis, right at the time when the crisis was going on. So we hope that we have been sufficiently supportive of people's ideas evolving about the issues that affected their lives.
Final quick question. As you look at what's happening in our city right now, as you look at what's happening in the world, is there in your mind a more relevant time for Wayne State University and where it sits today?
Absolutely not. This is the time for Wayne State, and this is the place to be. Wayne State is a premier urban research university. It interacts with its public, it supports its public, it provides services to its people, and the ultimate service is education. I don't think you can find a better university, better suited to its constituency, to its physical location, and indeed its intellectual place in the United States right now.
All right. Dr. Irvin Reed, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with the forum. Remember, again, it is on the 18th of September. It is open to the public. We'll put website information on the screen so you can go there and get more information. I'm Chuck Stokes. We'll be back next week with more newsmakers in the spotlight. We hope you have a great week.